Hello, my name is Jasmine Lee, and I am not your mama's astrologer, fresh off the cross trainer. And I kind of love this because it is a segue into this week. Welcome to the week. It's Monday. It's busy. Mars went direct, y'all, which is good news, bad news. So Mars went direct. We're no longer retrograding, lamenting, feeling stuck, victimizing, and having to reassess our entire lives. No big deal. So now it's direct. So now we have motion in the ocean. However, I will say that Mars in Cancer is still vibey. It's still dicey. It's still not happy. Mars does not like being in Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. It is water. It is sensitive. It is kitties wanting to be on your lap and chill. And Mars does not want to chill. Mars wants to go. Mars wants to do. Mars wants to fight and stand up and get things done. And Cancer's like, but wait a minute. Can we just stay home and snuggle the kitty? Can we just stay home and vibe and eat cookies and watch shows? And yes, we can do that when Mars is direct in Cancer, but we're also going to be sitting on the couch, biting our nails, thinking of all the things that need to get done. So put that in your back pocket. Mars is moving incredibly slow, so it's going to be this vibe until April. It's actually going to be at this exact degree of Mars for a hot minute, for a couple weeks. So get cozy if you can. I mean, that's why I think this is so funny, because I would love to be just sitting here zen and chill and giving you a very grounded reading. But instead, I have a busy day. I had a reading on hot off the cross trainer because fitness. Okay, Mars wants to move, so I had to move. And so you get a different energy because I'm going with the flow. With a cattail in my face. I'm going with the flow. That is how you master this Mars in Cancer, is you create the water, the waves yourself, and then you ride that wave, baby. That's how you master this Mars going direct, but staying in Cancer. It's great. It can be. It can also be quick to trigger, quick to hurt feelings, quick to take it personal, quick to jump to conclusions. So on this, the cusp of Mercury going retrograde, I know you don't like it. I don't like it. No one likes to hear it. That's happening in March. Also happening this week is Venus is going to go retrograde. Whew. Now this is where I'm going to chill, ground out, and tell you that up in the cosmos right now, we have the yin and the yang interplaying with each other. Just as Mars was retrograde going direct, so now is Venus direct going retrograde. They are trading off. They are high-fiving each other on the flip side. What is extra vibey about this, you guys, is that Venus is going retrograde in Aries. The thing that's cool and kind of intense about that is Aries rules Mars. So you've got this juxtaposition of Mars totally wishing that he was in Aries, and Venus, our lover, our divine feminine, our peacemaker, our balance, our choice, goes into retrograde, which is thoughtful, reflective, needing a hot minute in Aries, which doesn't want to be reflective or want hot minutes. Do you see where I'm going with all of this? Vibes. It's hard. It's contrasting. It's contradicting. It's yin, it's yang, it's masculine, it's feminine. And how are you going to balance it all? How are you going to hold your energy accountable when there's so much high-level drama going on, not only around you, but also internally? So the last time Venus was retrograde like this, in Aries, it's going to retrograde also back into Pisces. This was 8 years ago. This was 2017. So if you can filter your brain back to what was going on back then, you might notice some themes, some things that are up for review. Venus retrograde is a review of our relationships, of how we are relating both internally, interpersonally, and in the world. Like, how are you coming across? So Venus retrograde is going to be like, how are you coming across? Let's look. And we take out our little clipboard of our last 8 years of actions and we see where we landed. What did we learn? What did we apply? What did we not apply? What did we do? What did we not do? These times of reflection are always cyclical like this. What goes around comes around. As above, so below. These are all really stereotypical lines that all mean whatever it is you're working through will show results one way or the other. And this is a time where our lover, our deep sense of feminine, of beauty, of peace, needs a reboot, needs a thought process, needs a conversation that isn't just the day-to-day, that is reflective in nature. And it's kind of meeting up with and having a conversation with Mars that is our fighter, our divine masculine, our yang, our why. We're fighting for what we are, why we're doing what we're doing. And they're kind of in their detriments. They're kind of in places where they aren't comfortable. So to me, I always think of when things are out of balance or in opposites, how do we bring ourselves back to a place of homeostasis, back to our own centers? And so my guess is that we're all a little off in our reactions, in our reflections, and in how we're living our day to day. Like, there's some way we got lost along the road and we need to back it up. We need to reassess. And wherever this Venus retrograde is falling specifically in your chart is the specific vibes you will be having personally. Feel free to reach out to me if you need help with this to understand where personally this is happening for you. But in general, Venus is that divine feminine. She is love and peace and beauty in our relationships. So what has been going on in your relationships, in your partnerships, in your situationships, where we're getting this, why does this keep happening? Why me? Why does this always happen to me? That's your homework this week. Where are those places? What is the goddamn soundtrack of your life? And it's not the good one. It's not like, Pink Pony Club. It's not like the good shit. It's like the freaking Lamb Chop, This Is the Song That Doesn't End. Do you guys remember that? Maybe I'm aging myself, but there was a Lamb Chop song. Lamb Chop was a puppet that was a lamb, and they would sing, This Is the Song That Doesn't End. And they would do the whole song, but then they'd start it over, and it would be over and over. I think I drove my parents crazy with this song. Do you get where I'm going with it, though? That this is the, obnoxious soundtrack. This is the habits. This is the neural pathways you've created that are needing to be reevaluated. Do you take the same drive home every single day? And you notice if you are someone who does that, takes the same route home, it's the same music, it's the same feeling, it's at the same time of the day, that is what creates deep stagnation inside of all of us. And so the medicine to that is, what are you thinking about when you're on autopilot? Because our deep subconscious lives in our conscious too. We are playing out our subconscious consciously. We just don't know it. And the cool thing about that is we can recalibrate what we're doing. So your homework is, what are the things that are routine in your life? For better or for worse. I love the good routines too. But what are the things that you're doing that are the same every single day? What is your Groundhog Day moment every day? And I want you to reevaluate that. And so, for example, instead of taking the same route home, take a different street. Take a couple of extra minutes. Don't speed. Go a little slower. Listen to a new song. Find a new CD that you haven't listened to. Oh my God, CD. Okay, fine. Spotify playlist that you haven't listened to in a while and put it on. I think sometimes we get so routinized because routine keeps us safe. In some ways, routine keeps us healthy. In other ways, routine keeps us protected. But when Venus goes retrograde, you start to feel that different, for better or for worse. You start to feel where the subtle cracks are in what you're doing that isn't working anymore. Because you guys, we are ever changing, beautiful structure of a human being. We're bones and body and muscles and heart and nerves and blood and viscera. We have so much. We are a miracle. Just being here is a miracle. But we forget that. We forget the magic that's all around us because we have a 9 to 5, because we have to get up at 6 every morning, because we have to pack the lunches. We have to show up for the roles that we signed up for in this life. And when Venus goes retrograde, it's asking us, why did we sign up for that role, this role, the other role? Why are we doing it this way, that way, the other way? Why? And maybe there might be some pockets of some of that that isn't making you happy anymore. Maybe there is a part of you that is hollering from the very depth of your soul bones saying, I'm ready. I'm done with this. I'm finished with this chapter. I'm finished with going this way when I really want to go that way. I'm done with this job. I'm done with this friendship. I'm done with this situationship. I'm done with hooking up. I'm done with Tinder. I'm done with this marriage. I'm done with this soul contract that I made when I was different. I think we get scared of how we become different. I think that relationships start to struggle when we don't want our partners to change. Have you ever noticed that sometimes one partner will start to lose weight, or they'll start to work out, or they'll start to learn something new, or they'll just be doing something completely different than they've ever done before? And that other partner, maybe this is your story, maybe this has been true for you. I know it's been true for me, where you get threatened by that person's growth because you think, uh-oh, their growth makes me uncomfortable. Their growth makes me have to take them out of the box that I so lovingly wrapped around them, where this person is this to me. This person always does this for me. This person always is that. And now I also want you to turn that around on yourself. What boxes, what familial landscapes are you stuck in? Who do you think you are versus what do other people expect you to be, and do they align? And if they don't, how do we subtly start to shift? How do we subtly start to go a different way home from work, to drink a different kind of coffee, to listen to a different kind of song, to go to a different kind of bar? It's as simple as that and as complex as that. And you get to take it. You get to live with it. This is you. This is your story. There's no pressure to change, but there is inspiration to maybe find a pocket of yourself that wants to go the long way home. Maybe there's a part of yourself that you used to really love. I know for me, I was a theater geek. I loved theater. It was everything to me. It didn't matter how late in the night. It didn't matter, what I was doing. I always made time to be in productions, and that was very meaningful to me. And, bitch, be an adult now. I'm a grown-ass woman who has grown-ass kids. Well, not they're grown, little kids that have big responsibilities and big routines that keep my household structured, safe. So what? I'd love to be in a play again. I would. And the truth is that maybe I can feel that and maybe I can want that. But if I can't do that, there's just no time. There's just no time in the day. I maneuver that. I move that. And I think, what was the thing about theater that awakened in me the passion, the drive? And for me, it's evolved and grown into astrology, into these podcasts, into being here with you guys, where I will make the commitment to, even when I have a very busy day, to find a way to do this, to be here and practice with you, because I want to change, I want to move, I want to grow, and I want to become something new and evolved. I want that for myself. And so while the want, the desire was theater, performance art, artistry, understanding the human emotion, being and expressing someone else's story through my body, well, I can still do that. I don't have to go audition for plays and take every evening and do that. I don't have to do that to find that part of me that loved that, because she's here. Whatever part of you that loved something that you don't get to do as much anymore is still here. They're still available to you. And even if they aren't available to do the thing and the platform that you used that version of yourself for, you can evolve, change, and work with this yin and yang, this masculine and feminine that are very uncomfortable right now, and burst out of your box and find the thing now that fits into the schedule, that fits into your life, that honors you, that honors your growth, that honors what it is in you that is in love with this life, because Venus is love. Venus wants to be in love. Venus wants to be peaceful, harmonious, and in righteous relationship with the artist within. Because even if you're not a blatant artist, like you don't draw pictures, you're not a musician, that doesn't mean you're not an artist who loves to paint their day in beauty, who loves color and blankets in their house, who loves plants and making their space beautiful, making their face beautiful, their fashion. There is artistry in us and all around us. And stoking that beautiful part of ourselves is what's gonna need to happen this period of time in our lives, because we're changing. And if we're going to be afraid of that change, and if we're going to tighten our hands on the steering wheel and insist on going that way home, well, that's when that feeling of stuck, that depression, the anxiety, the frustration, the overeating, oversleeping, undersleeping, all of those habits that start to make us ill or don't represent our better and highest good are the symptoms that are asking you for change. So look at some of the habits you do that you know aren't so healthy, that you know when you're a dysregulated version of yourself you jump to. Me, it's TV. I will just lay because that keeps me safe. Being still, because I am such a mover in this life. I have so much fire, air, energy that I just want to talk and I want to do. But when I don't feel inspired, I just want to lay down. I just want to be left alone. I just want to read my books. And listen, no one's going to be taking my books away from me. No. Because that's healthy. That is the healthy version of me taking space and creating worlds inside of my brain. But I will say the laying around watching TV and whatnot instead of getting housework, all the other things done, is not the best version of myself. But I know that I do that because I'm dysregulated or upset about something. So if I know that, if you know that about yourself, well, that gives you all the power in the world. In fact, it gives you all the information in the world to understand that there is something about what you're doing every day that isn't satiating you, that isn't feeding the hunger, because we're all hungry. We all are. We're all starving for something. And whatever that is, I want you to reflect on it this week. Because also, you guys, there's a new moon this week. And I love new moons because new moons is always the chance to do it different. It's always a new page. It's a blank page. It's whatever you manifested and built during last moon cycle is done. And now you have the chance to ask for and build new things in this moon cycle. So while I will say this astrology is hard, Mars and Venus being uncomfortable and retrograde, it's hard. You might find struggle and great strife in your relationships, in your connections, in your home life, in your creative life, in your work life. It might feel hard. What was hard about 2017? And what did you have to overcome? It's kind of a addendum, a new story to this old story that we've been building for these 8 years. And I want you to be reflective about that, because there is something inside of all of us that is yearning and wanting. And what is it inside you? And how can, if you can't get the whole kit and caboodle, if I can't go be the best version of myself in theatrical format, how can I embody and imbibe that energy practically in my life now as a grown-ass adult with grown-ass responsibilities? Ooh, and the card I pulled, you guys, is the Fates. The Fates, as my partner likes to call it, the fatties. He's so silly. The Fates, it's all here to help you. The good, the bad, the ugly, the kind, the cruel, it's all here for you to use as fuel, to use as your new stoking, your new match to get going, to figure out what it is inside of you that is yearning right now, because that's the medicine. What you're wanting is wanting you. You just sometimes have to get creative. When Venus goes retrograde and says no, you have to find your yes. You have to find what is going to be the thing that is going to turn you on. Literally and metaphorically. So go forth. Find the thing that will inspire you. Take a different way home. Buy a new grocery. Listen to a different song and see how it makes you feel, grow, and evolve. Ooh, and the bottom card is all that glitters. And oh, the things you'll find when you get curious about what's going on the inside. Thank you so much for listening. Like, follow, book a reading with me. We can help find this passion project of yours if we sit on this here couch and have a little chitty chat about it. Zoom call, couch call, whatever, I'm here for it. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week.